You know, if you're a gig worker like myself, you're out there by yourself a lot of the times. And you can let me know in the live chat or the comment section what gig app you're working on most right now. Maybe you're listening to this while you're actually working. If so, if you're not working or if you are working, welcome. My name is Mike. I've been doing gig work part-time, full-time, in different marketplaces, different apps and niches since 2015. Every now and then there's scenarios and there's offers and there's apps that you need to be aware of, because when you're by yourself, no one is guiding you through this stuff. That's why episode 3 of looking at the most unhinged and insane, not just DoorDash, but gig worker posts. Because if you're a gig worker, I don't want you to lose out on money. I don't want you to encounter some of these little unique scenarios and not know what to do. So welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. And again, what app is working best for you right now? Are you earning more money than ever? Less money than ever? About the same? Let me know. Now, look at this. As we start, I want to start off hot here for you, okay? I found, and this is directly sourced from gig workers like you, a new Dasher task. What are Dasher tasks? DoorDash is arguably the most popular gig app right now. Uber, surprisingly, is right up there as well. Uber with 8.8 million earners, rideshare drivers, and couriers. It's up there. But DoorDash, like, all they do is delivery. So for being a delivery platform and being that popular, interesting. Have you ever gotten an offer like this? Take a look. This is a Dasher task. It's a non-delivery assignment. Now, I'm all for different earnings opportunities. Okay, 709, 2.5 miles, but all they have to do is verify store hours. So I could tack this on maybe to another assignment. I can do it really easily. I could take this one. I can take another offer that's, right across the street and a stacked offer. I can use this as a filler app or offer. Fills in the rest of my shift, but I don't have to worry about waiting in line. You get the point. You get the point. It's a non-delivery task. Now, this is what a Dasher noticed just 1 week ago. Why does this matter? It's because DoorDash has said themselves, we should be on the lookout for new Dasher tasks, generally offer types, stuff like that. Actually, at the time of filming this, the brand new DoorDash Dasher app just hit in my marketplace in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you don't have any idea what that is, I've done a video on it, but check out our posts tab to see what that brand new Dasher app looks like. Now, this Dasher notice, okay, earn $1 extra, take a photo to verify the store has a DoorDash window sticker displayed. So if I'm a Dasher, which I am, funny that we asked that, if I get this assignment and it says earn $1 extra, now when it says this, typically this is an add-on task, because a lot of us, do you do shop and deliver? Do you like shop and deliver? Do you just even dash on DoorDash, right? You get your assignments, you get your deliveries. This is a little add-on extra. We've seen menu photos. So you're doing the pickup anyway. Hey, you can earn an extra $1. Take a picture of the menu. And a lot of us were thinking that's kind of a pricing audit thing for the restaurant. But if I'm going to McDonald's anyway, if I'm going to Sal's whatever cuisine, if I'm going to People's Indian, if I'm going to Panda Express, and I'm going to walk in there, worth it or not? Here's what I think about this. Then you can let me know in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching on the replay. Hey, if you did miss this live, just click that notification bell and click all notifications. You can make sure you get notified when you go live. And while you're doing that, make sure to check out our brand new ShiftMate app. It'll help you maximize your income and track your gig earnings at the link listed below. I think this is kind of worth it. It's doesn't seem like much because it should not be much. I'm walking in there anyway. And look at the little caption above. This Dasher, this poster on Reddit said, "So we're just spying on restaurants now?" And you know what that makes me think of, actually? How often do you get the verify items little prompt thing? Like, no, don't just verify it's for Dave. Look in the bag and see and verify. Okay, there's the Baja Burrito. There's the coleslaw. There's the side of whatever. And there's a drink. There's a prompt that asks you to audit. I call it a Dasher item audit, I call it. A little check mark or an X if they've actually included those items in the bag. So here it's an audit for the restaurants. Basically, are they advertising DoorDash in a way, right? It'll be a window sticker like, "We deliver with DoorDash." Is that fair? Right? Is that fair to audit the restaurants? Because I already told you about the Dasher item audit. Now we're auditing the exterior of their restaurants. And we're auditing, again, if they're basically advertising for DoorDash. Now, Dasher-wise, operationally for the Dasher, for you and myself, it's easy. I'm walking in there. I can get an extra $1. Okay, sweet. You guys have a little DoorDash sticker, which they might have actually agreed to in their merchant agreement. I don't know. I would assume that might be a contingency of the actual agreement, but it's pretty easy for an extra $1, right? So let's move on because I got plenty of stories today. While you're watching this, there'll be chapters down below and there'll be a Q&A after this. So if something stands out, which I hope one of these stands out to you, save your questions for the end. Now that will be edited out for brevity. So if you want access to all of those Q&As, click the join button to join as a channel member. And I see people in here like David, like Marcus and Eric and Pablo in our live stream. Don't worry though, here's the best case scenario. Yes. If you're a gig worker, don't worry. Here's the best case scenario. Check this out. Let me just step away for this one. Take a look at this. Come back to your phone, come back to your TV. Like 50% or 30% of you are watching on TVs now. So thank you for inviting me into your space. Come back to your iPad. Come back to your Z Flip. I don't know. Take a look at this offer. This Dasher said, when being platinum pays off. So platinum's the rewards program, right? It's having a certain acceptance rate, completion rates. What else? For platinum, 100 deliveries in the rolling 30 days as well. And customer rating, you have to hit all these different metrics and then you can get platinum. Priority access to high paying offers. Are you kidding me? I told you this is the most insane posts from DoorDash and gig workers. It's not all bad. Okay. This is, ladies and gentlemen, $101.15 plus, which means the total is going to be higher after they deliver it. It includes, interestingly, it breaks down the actual tip amount. Fascinating. Actually, I just noticed that. That is fascinating. Have you gotten an offer from DoorDash that says that? That says it includes X amount specifically from the tip? I have not gotten that. Please let me know. I mean, we have gig workers like Dream here that says, I've never seen that. Has anyone ever seen something like this that says it includes a certain amount of tip? Now, below that in like the little teal color, it says plus $3 setup pay. Yay. Inconsequential. Why is there a setup pay? Because, honestly, that's extra bonus pay. So we'll take it. This is a large order. It's a catering offer, large order catering program that used to be invite only. And then it used to be for platinum only. Now, clearly this Dasher is platinum. Now you get priority to the large order catering program as platinum. And DoorDash even says catering bag not required, which blows me away. I've done Zifty. I've done Deliver That. There's Delivered, which was actually rebranded to Expedite. Think about any local or regional catering options. Blows me away that we can ever have a catering offer and telling your workers you don't need a catering bag. That is wild to me. Okay. This is from good old Torchy's Tacos. Okay, in Colorado. Again, from a Dasher on Reddit here. Insane. It says 6 items, but that could be like, 1 carton of tacos or whatever is an item, however they do it. So this is all to say, gig work is not dead. It's market dependent, sure. If you've tested this thing for 6 months or a year and it's dead for you, okay, fine, try a different app or niche. But is this rare? Sure. Of course this is rare. You're not going to get stuff like this even once a quarter. You might get an offer like this once a year and consider yourself lucky, but that's fine. I don't care. When I get it, and you can celebrate. 101 plus. Oh yeah, by the way, look, 8.2 miles. Unbelievable. Now, David says, he's never seen that either, where it breaks down the tip explicitly. And as we say here on our reacting series based on Reddit, we have to take this at face value. These are gig workers posted on Reddit. We take these at truth and face value. Hopefully someone doesn't have a lot of free time to Photoshop fake stuff. So I put that little disclaimer out there. But yeah, I've never seen that either. Massive, great order. And before we move on, let me finish with this. You'll never get this. Pay attention. Please like this video, by the way. Can we get at least 20% of viewers also liking the video? I appreciate it. We've been a little lower, like 8-10%. If we get that to 20% of viewers liking the video, it does help. And consider subscribing. I mean, all I do here for 8 years on YouTube, for 10 years in the gig space, is helping make money in different side hustles. You'll never get this if you don't multi-app. Okay? Hopefully the unlock mic drop moment for you. You'll never get this unless you multi-app, unless you sign up for different platforms and you have to be online to get this offer. So you'll never get the huge Deliver That, Expedites, or Zifty offer if you're not signed up and online. You'll never get the insane. And actually, Grubhub has catering as well. You might never get that Grubhub catering offer. You might never get the crazy stacked Uber Eats offer for they have catering as well for the large tipping offer. You just never know. And this is why I tell you to multi-app, drive on different apps at the same time so you can select the best offer, because it just leaves as many doors as open as possible. Moving on. I mean, this one is pretty crazy. Let's pivot. Because what I try to do is give you a wide-reaching look into the gig economy. Amazon Flex. I kind of didn't realize this. Maybe in the back of my mind, did you know this? Even Amazon Flex has DoorDash-esque violations, because those contract violations on DoorDash rather. Amazon Flex has violations. Check this out. Kind of a pain if you drive on Amazon Flex. This driver, under r/Amazon Flex drivers, quote, got penalized because someone lied about not receiving their package. Again, I've been doing gig work since 2015. You will have this happen. It's more so on food delivery, right? It's order never arrived is the kind of tag from DoorDash on their contract violation. So Amazon Flex, I just did a video on it. I can leave it linked in the show notes. And if it's worth it, we're delivering Amazon packages. So it says customer received item, the little subtitle, delivered to secure locations and follow app instructions to ensure the customer gets their delivery. Customers said they didn't receive their packages that you delivered, citing the date and the amount of packages. And in smaller text down below, the Flex driver, independent contractor, cited the frustrations of what a lot of us would cite with any, order never arrived. Like, I delivered that. Yeah. I 100% delivered that. And they said it's upsetting because I can't control when someone lies just to keep both the package and their money, in their opinion. So why does this matter for Amazon Flex? And of course, there's implications for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and stuff like that. Well, on Flex, you have Flex standings. And it's like on-time rate, shift, commitment, percent, and stuff like that. Package security. You might get dinged if you deliver a package and it's not delivered in the best location, like it's right in the middle of the walkway, the little, what's it called? Walkway leading to the front door, whatever that thing is called. Not the sidewalk, but the walkway. And it's not obscured, when you could clearly have just gone to the front door and hit it behind the porch. That would have been safer. So they might ding you for that, especially if the customer complains. Now, if the customer says that they never got the thing, then it could hit your Flex accounts. And I'll be honest with you, some of these apps are more strict than others. I have a lot of experience in these, different gig niches and apps. Some are more strict than others. For instance, DoorDash and their ETAs, estimated times of arrival. They're more stringent. They're more strict than Uber Eats and Grubhub. Think about your niche. Uber or Lyft, which one's more strict? Amazon Flex or Roadie or Walmart Spark, right? Which one's more strict? Now, of course, I always want you to follow the terms of service and stuff. I want you to follow rules because I don't want you to lose access to your accounts. But this is not that. Something like this is a customer just saying they didn't get it when you're like, dude, come on. And then, honestly, it could threaten your account just because someone could lie. Now, to finish the point on this should be rare. Okay, take solace in that. On any niche, really, this should be rare. Fraudulent behavior when they say they didn't get it when you did deliver it or what have you. So I don't expect this to happen a lot. And one time it's okay. Frankly, even 2 times, stuff like that. So if you have a couple of times, don't worry. All right. Next story here. Staying on Flex. Is it all bad? Is Flex not worth it? I mean, oh boy, it sounds kind of like a pain. I should not sign up for Amazon Flex. By the way, they typically have a really long wait list. Because, well, again, watch that video on Flex and if it's worth it in 2025. That was recently uploaded. But there could be great things, just like that catering offer we just saw, just like that $100+ catering offer. This is the golden Flex routes. I'm going to show you it. Look at that. What are we looking at here? Does anyone know what we're looking at here? Please let me know. And it's Daryl's birthday today. Welcome in. Funny enough, it is my birthday today too. You and me, my man. Good birthday. What are you looking at right here? Well, it's, GPT. What am I looking at? It appears to be a cart in some kind of warehouse with a singular package in it. You are correct. And this Flex driver said, I've seen these on Reddit before, and I've always wondered if I'd ever get one like this. It finally happened to me. Only one package. And the drop-off was only 15 minutes away. Best route ever. Besides the routes that send you home with pay. So this Flex driver, we're delivering packages on Amazon Flex. I've done Flex in San Diego, California. I'm back here in Pittsburgh. I've done it here in Pittsburgh, and I've done it in different warehouses here in Pittsburgh. So they give you this, they give you a rack of packages and envelopes and stuff. And you're going to do a 2 to 4 hour routes. Now there's grocery, it's Amazon Fresh. We're talking about these warehouse, runs. And if you're doing a 2 to 4 hour routes, they're going to give you like 10 to 15 stops an hour. So, 3 hour route, you'll probably get about 40, 45 packages. Now the minimum route is 2 hours on Flex. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 2.5. I think it's 2. Okay. And it's as high, I think, as 4, maybe 4.5. And again, it could vary by marketplace. If you get there and you see this, they say, here's your rack. You get one package. Guess what? Like this Flex driver said, you deliver the one package, okay? Now, this was the golden shift because he said, or she said, it was close. It was like 15 minutes away, which is crazy because sometimes it could be a little further away. You get paid the full amount for the entire shift. So if you sign up for 2, 3, 4 hours, say it was $20 an hour shift, okay? So you're making like $60 to $80. Okay. And it was supposed to be a full route. This sometimes happens for whatever reason. They overbooked, they call it, because, customer demand and orders, you can't always predict that. They just go on, trends. So they have a certain amount of shifts available, but they don't have enough routes. They just have this one package. And you get the entire pay, which is wild. I have never had this happen. Sometimes they'll even tell you we don't have any routes and they'll still pay you. I know there's a lot of, controversy around Amazon, but the fact that on Flex, at least they'll still pay you if they don't have a route, or they'll pay you the full amount if you do one package. And thank you, Bobby, Kate Johnson, Sylvia, David, and others. I appreciate that. And Jose for the super sticker. Thank you so much, folks. The one thing that Flex does better than most. Now, not everyone has routed deliveries, like, doing these routed deliveries. But that is one thing that Flex does better than other routed options. They will pay you the full amounts. Now, speaking of deliveries, here's a good segue. Deliveries that involve a rolling cart. There we go. This next offer. Am I an Uber Eats driver or a Roadie driver? Why do I say Roadie? It's because Roadie can have like a larger items sometimes, Lowe's, Home Depot, stuff like that. Not always. Okay. So I'm supposed to be an Uber Eats driver. Look at what this Uber Eats driver ran into. Follow along with me. I signed up for Uber Eats, not UPS, or, enter your favorite carrier here. Now, Uber Eats, they do have package delivery. It's called Uber Connect. So your offer screen will say package. I'm on Uber Eats, but it still says package, which is fine. I can do a package that fits in my car. This is a television. Now check this out. This driver said, the day was going good. I just needed one more delivery for an extra $8. and had a couple of minutes left to complete it. So I accepted a Walmart pickup order that popped up, and it wasn't too far. First, I'd like to point out how dumb it is that we can't see what we are going to pick up, and when doing things like Walmart pickups. I've done a few in the past, and it's usually just some groceries or a random item, which is fine. So I'm waiting there for around 10 minutes when I see a worker wheel out a whole TV. I'm like, surely this can't be for me and my little Camry doing Uber Eats. But sure enough, it was. Me and the worker spent a good amount of time trying to get it fit in my car in different angles, and even trying to put the rear seats down, but the trunk couldn't close either. To no avail, I had to spend a couple of minutes trying to cancel the order, talk with support, and get the whole thing situated. I missed out on the bonus, wasted time, and hurt my cancellation rates, all for $3 whole. Better than them saying zero compensation, at least. I sympathize. Look at what happened. Look at this. This Uber Eats driver, they needed one more delivery to get $8 extra. That's a good amount. That's a good amount. I don't know if it was $8 extra, per, they did 4 deliveries or whatever. It was a batched bonus or something. Look at this. Now, the reason I say is this Uber Eats or Roadie, because Roadie, it's another last mile delivery platform. It's owned by UPS. But Roadie lists, this store, the pickup location, they list the dimensions of the products. Basically, no one else is doing that. They're like listing the dimensions, length, width, height, and I think weight actually as well. So you'll know, and obviously it'll be classified as well. It'll be tagged XL or large gig or heavy gig, whatever the tags that they use there. So Roadie does a good job of that. And you have to submit for the offer. You don't automatically get it. So this kind of would have been an offer that would have been better suited for Roadie because, the dispatchers or whatever it is could pair the right driver profile. This doesn't help anyone. The Walmart worker just took their time to wheel this thing out, right? It's not a huge pain, but then the driver can't fit it in the car. The customer is waiting on their TV. It's more chance of accidents happening because we're handling the product more versus I'm fine having large items available for delivery, but you need to have some kind of filtration system, tagging or something if we're doing this kind of stuff on Uber Eats. And maybe that's just one of those things where at the smallest level, the company is missing a few of these scenarios. They're missing systems and checks in place for the actual boots on the ground scenario. Like, hey, you can order anything on Uber Eats, yay, but it's a 58-inch TV. Interesting. So what do you think? What has been the biggest standout story so far? Again, my name is Mike. All I do is help you make money in different side hustles. So much so I created an app for you to maximize your income. A ShiftMate. Check it out at the link below. We're launching in like 30 days. Thank you to all the pre-orders. If you do pre-order right now, iOS, Android is coming in 2026 as soon as we can get that out. You lock in the launch pricing. Pricing will go up after launch. So we want to make sure you can lock that in right now at shiftmateapp.com. Now, looking at this next story here, this other side of the coin, try to give you a neutral stance here, is the best Uber Eats offer. Or is it? What do you think? Take a look. This is bonus pay. I gotta ask you, be honest, it's fine. How often do you get this? Specifically, Quest bonuses. How often do you get Quest bonuses on Uber Eats? This driver says, Best promo I've ever seen. $200 extra for 50 deliveries. How does that work out? And actually, this is a live promo posted 21 hours ago. Well, 24 plus now by the time I'm filming this. But there's a live promo going on right now for this Uber Eats driver. So let's take a look here. Thought we had another screen, but that's fine. We'll stay here. So the way this works, if you don't get Quest bonuses, personally here in Pittsburgh, I get a Quest every, well, now they're doing more. Now I get a Quest almost every week. But that varies wildly. I feel like I'll get it for a bit and then sometimes it disappears. Sometimes it's rideshare only. But this is for deliveries. So it says, complete 10 more deliveries to earn $40 and unlock another offer. So the way quests work, this driver kind of is implied here. You do 10 deliveries. You can, decline as much as you want. There's no stipulations on that, which is good. And after I complete 10, I get 40 extra bucks. That's pretty sweet. Why? Because if you've done other gig apps, DoorDash, whatever, any other gig app, $1 extra per assignment, okay, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. $2 extra per assignment. That's pretty strong. I mean, if I'm doing 3 offers an hour, I'm doing pretty good here. An extra $2 in addition to any tips and base pay. $3 extra. You're probably thinking I can make pretty good money. Granted, if there's enough assignments, right? There's always that. There's some ambiguity to it. $4 extra per assignment, which is what you're looking at right here, is pretty crazy. Not only that, not only an extra $4, but it's $4 on every delivery for 10 deliveries. And then you unlock it again. So if they do 10, the second one unlocks, which is another 10 trips for 40 bucks. You do another 10 trips, you get an extra $40. You have to do another 10. These are batched bonuses. But once you do 10 in that date range provided above, you get an extra 40. What happens when you unlock that? You unlock another 10 trip for $40 bonus, and again. So that's why for 50 total deliveries, you get an extra $200. That is exactly like the DoorDash challenge that I've had in the past. It was $200 extra. That was even better, I think. What was it? I think it was 20 deliveries or 25. I can't remember. I'll try to leave that video linked down below as well. If you see a bonus like this, $2 is pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily change your behavior for $1 extra. It's up to you. You do what you want. $2, I'm starting to think, okay, if I'm free during that dinner time, maybe I'm going to go for some of that. But $3, $4 extra, that's rare. That's rare. You're not going to get that frequently. So who gets this? I don't know. It could be random. It could be sent to drivers who have not driven in a while. It could be drivers who are driving a bunch and they wanted to keep them happy and driving. It could be because the market is really busy and they don't have enough supply. They want to get you out there. It could be in new marketplaces where they just want to have a good impression on, the workers and customers, whatever. They're running a bunch of promos. It could be for drivers who knows, right? These incentives are sent out to different drivers and couriers at different times in different marketplaces on different profiles and statuses. We don't necessarily know. The point is, you got it. You got it, and you're probably not going to get something this juicy again, so consider going for it. That's a pretty nice one. If I got that, actually, I'm going to kind of check. We'll check in the Q&A, okay? Hang with me for the Q&A after this. And remember to watch all those replays. Click that join button. If you can't see the join button, go over to a computer or a desktop to join as a Team VIP channel member. Now, this stuff's not hard, all right? Hey man, why do you need a whole channel dedicated to this? This stuff isn't hard. Just follow the instructions, man. You're really telling people how to pick up a burger and drop it off better, or pick up a customer at the football game and drop them off, or how to shop for Kraft mac and cheese better. This gig stuff is not hard. Point taken. But what happens if you just follow the instructions? Delivery instructions on Amazon Flex read, will not be home between 3 and 5 p.m. If we are not home, leave packages in living room. Please. Access code, this and that, then press the check mark. This is on Amazon Flex. This is what the delivery screen looks like, with information redacted, of course, on Amazon Flex. And the subtitle from this Flex driver simply says, how about no? The reason, I try to uncover the little nuances of this stuff, because it's not hard, but that's what makes it hard, like the little weird nuances. So my question to you, would you follow these delivery instructions? It's fine, man. It's during the day. I'm package whatever. It's an envelope. It's not a big thing. It's an envelope. Look, I'm not going to be home. If you happen to deliver between this time, here's my access code to whatever. Let's say like a lock on the front door, right? Just unlock my front door. Just put it in my living room. Would you do this? Why not? I mean, it's like 10 steps inside the home. It's clearly communicated. They're allowing you to enter the home. So, I would never do this. Okay. And here's why. Because you're telling me it's okay to go inside your home. But this is like into your living room, man. And trust me, everyone in this thread agreed. I don't care if you leave the keys on the front porch there. I'm not walking inside of your home or apartment. I don't care what it is. Because that's not what you're meant to do as an independent contractor. And there was a response in this thread from someone that worked at the actual warehouse. I don't think it was this exact warehouse, but it was, I think one of the managers of another, they call it DSP warehouse. And they said don't follow those instructions. And they recommended this Flex driver, just communicate this with support, for documentation purposes. So that's not a bad idea. You can message support, hey, just want to let you know, delivery instructions say to go inside the home and deliver in the living room. I just want to let you know, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to deliver it at a site at the front porch or something like that. And then the DSP worker also recommended to tell the customer that. And the Flex some comments echoed you don't need to really tell the customer that. It's up to you. Okay. Obviously, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to probably ring the doorbell or whatever you're going to do here. I would never do this. Your safety is number one. This is not in the terms of service. And actually, in the terms of service of most every gig app, it says you're not going to enter homes. You're not going to enter homes. Now, I have had probably 3 instances, certainly I can count them maybe on one hand, of DoorDash food delivery, where I've had an elderly recipient instruct me to bring it inside the little, what do we call it? The entry table, the little wall tables, the little thin tables, has a mirror above, you throw your keys there. They'd want me to put it there. Or I've entered hospice centers or patient care centers or elderly living buildings, environments, apartments, what have you. And I've had the patient or the elderly person say, hey, can you just put it right here on the kitchen table? Now, those times, few times I've done it because it's an elderly, frankly, sick, disabled, handicapped person, and that's using your own judgments. Some of that was in the rural neighborhoods, nice neighborhoods of Pittsburgh. It's not in a seedy area. And then again, sometimes they were just in professional care facilities. So it's more so sometimes it was a patient room, and then other times it was just like an apartment for elderly living, but still probably less than 5 times in total, and only in those extraneous circumstances. But something blind like this, I can't say I would ever advise you to do that, certainly, because you don't know what you're walking into. And at least in those scenarios with the elderly recipients, I could clearly see who I was interacting with. Again, there's no guarantee. You don't know. You still don't know. Okay? You don't know who was in that home. So still, I would never advise you to go inside of a person's home. So what story stood out most to you? Let's enter our Q&A here. I'll give you a chance right now to put it in the live chat or the comment section. And I want to ask you, why do these scenarios happen? Which one, again, stood out most to you? Because 99% of this stuff is pretty straightforward. But when something happens, when something's new, even the scenario we just talked about, and you don't know what to do, a lot of this gig work, I mean, you're by yourself, right? You're by yourself and you really don't know what to do. So drop a like on your way out, get your questions ready, and happy to see what stood out to you.